The poachers finally came and took down the Rhino. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventure through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Ambo. So the new patch is up. It is currently live. It is currently running. There are 3 nerfs, 5 buffs, and 1 card update. And the card that we're going to talk about first and foremost is going to be the brand new Rhino. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the brand new Rhino is a nerf and not a buff. So in case anybody who's unaware of what Rhino changed to, he got changed from a 3/3 that used to take a location and turn it into the ruins for the rest of the game, and unless something else changed it. And now he is a 3/6 that when you play him down, he'll put a rock into your location. Then he'll put a simple 0/1 rock into your location. Sorry, 1/0 rock into your location. Now, for a lot of people, they're saying that this is a buff because he's got the power, but I don't think so. Because if you look at the 3-drops and you go by power spikes, you're 1 slot away from basically just playing a Sabretooth. So why not just play a Sabretooth and not worry about the downside? Now, I know for some people this is an upside because of the new Doctor Strange, as eating the rock will give the Doctor Strange some power. But the problem I have with this is it is so rare to have any kind of location manipulation for a free-to-play player for a person who's Series 3 or less. And taking Rhino out of the free-to-play Series 3 or less location manipulation cards that existed is pretty devastating. There are so many locations that you basically need to take down on turn 3 or sooner, or you're just going to lose the game. There's the one that I can basically think of off the top of my hand where it's on turn 3, it'll shuffle your hand back into your deck and you'll draw new cards. The only card that now will be able to take care of that will be either Magic if you want to have a turn 7, which is always risky, or the Scarlet Witch. So as of right now, the only cards that will let you manipulate locations are going to be Scarlet Witch, the Limbo from the Magic, or the Storm that'll get you the Flooded. And none of those work on turn 3 except for Scarlet Witch. So it really does bother me and bug me that Rhino now can't change a location, as I think as more locations come into the game, location manipulations are going to become more valuable, not less valuable. And I had a better way of fixing Rhino that would have been more of an interesting way of fixing Rhino. Or you just leave him as the 3/3 and you just make it so that he's got the first half of Jeff's text. Or he could have been played in any location and just take away the auto reveal of that. Because there's just so painful to have 1 less location manipulation for the 3-drop. We lost the Rhino, we lost the Storm. Now there's not anything you can do on 3, and the best thing you can do is probably try Scarlet Witch and see how that runs for you for a bit. And just so you can see how much I like Rhino, this is how custom-made I have my Rhino card. So it was pretty custom-made, I played it a lot. Next card that we have in the Nerf category is the Scream. Scream got changed from a 2/2 to a 2/1. Still exactly the same card. I'm really shocked that this didn't get changed to 2/0. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the road this got changed to 2-0. This is just so powerful of a card for moves. And there's nothing really to say. I think this is a change that everybody saw coming. And to a lot of people, I'm not even sure if this is going to be enough of a nerf to make this card changed in any way, shape, or form from play rate. Next up, we got the Captain America Sam Wilson, also known as Captain Falcon, or as I call him, Captain Falcon. So Captain Falcon got changed from a 2-3 to a 2-2. Everything else stays exactly the same. Not sure if you can nerf this card any more than you already have. Bringing this down to a 2-1 is ugly. Making it so that the shield only gets +1 instead of +2 is kind of ugly. Making the shield a 0-0 is kind of ugly. I'm not sure how much you can do more with this card. Maybe, I don't even know, take off the ongoing with this. And that's about the most I can see, is taking the ongoing off the Captain America itself, the Captain Falcon itself. Or it's just the Sam Wilson moves it regardless. That might be enough. I'm not sure if how that's helping the ongoing side of this. Take off the shield, the ongoing ability. Just make it so it can't be destroyed, period. I mean, is that enough? I'm really not sure how much more you can nerf this card, but it's still too good of a card that it'll see too much a point. For the buffs now. On to the buffs. Captain Carter got changed from a 4-3 to a 3-2. And while this would normally be considered a nerf for most people, for Captain Carter, it's actually a buff. You really wanted her on 3 because of the Silver Surfer. You almost wanted her on 2, to believe it or not. I could see her as being a 2-2 or 2-3 in the future. This allows her to get caught by the Silver Surfer, get the plus buff from the Silver Surfer, and become a decently good card in Silver Surfer, and that's the only place you might see this. The fact that all she can do is her lane just still makes her rough to play. I'd almost wish they would have just made her a 3-3 in general, and just let her get +3 to your entire back row, or +2 to your entire back row, and not have it linked together. This is one of the problems that you had, again, when I talked about Captain Carter, where you have that kind of old Lady Deathstroke problem, where if this becomes too powerful, then the deck becomes too powerful. If this becomes too weak, then the deck becomes too weak because you haven't attached to how much power she currently has. Instead of just giving a flat number that you can adjust down the road. Next up on the buff list. Is Infinity Ultron. Infinity Ultron got changed from a 5-6 to a 5-8. I believe that when I did my review on Infinity Ultron, this is one of the suggestions I made for him, is to bump him all the way up to an 8. It really shows you how poor a card is when it skips the 5-7 and goes all the way up to a 5-8. The only issue I have with this is this makes his 2 best straws still his 2 best straws, which is the doubling Ultron's power and then making a clone of itself, which has you having a 5-16. And getting another 5-16 on the intern, and pretty much none of the other stones really help him out. I really think they still might have to go through this and change some of the other stones, because so few of the other stones work in any way, shape, or form with how the Ultron is set up. Next buff that we have is for Toxin. Toxin got changed. They went from a 2-1 to a 2-2. I really don't think this helps in any way, shape, or form. I'm really not sure what this is for. I almost think that this could go down to being a 1-2 and be okay. There's almost a part of me that thinks this could be okay if it gave +3. And I'm not sure if that's too dangerous, but I have to see. I'd rather them try something like that, though. Next up, the next buff that we have is for Penny Parker. That's not even the Penny Parker herself, but it's the spider that you get off her. Her spider has gotten changed from being a 3-3 to being a 3-4. Everything else stays exactly the same. It's going good, going good. Thank you so much for coming in. Everything else about the spider stays exactly the same. Little nice buff for the spider. There is a part of me that almost wants us to get changed to like a 4-5 instead. But having the turn to play around with this and use this a little bit better might be fine. Next card that we have on the buff list is going to be Fastos. Fastos got changed from a 3-3 to a 3-4. And honestly, I'm not sure what more you can do with Fastos. You make him a 3-5, he's just too good of a generally good card. There's a part of me that honestly believes that he could go down to a 2-3 or 1-3 and he'd be fine. His power is just too random and it's too late almost. But you can't make him go up any higher. Any higher than this, and he's just a 3-5, and you're just going to play because he's a 3-5. Okay, and last little update that we had was for Taxi Duxy. Taxi Duxy looks exactly the same because it is exactly the same. This is purely just a weird change on how it interacts with cards, as it now will no longer choose skill cards in your hand to lock up from your hand. So this is kind of a buff, kind of a nerf to it. Because now if you do have skill cards in your hand, you know what cards it won't hit. But it's kind of weird because it was a kind of a downside to playing skill cards in a Toxie Doxie deck. And now you can kind of just, if you have a lot of skill cards in your hand, which might happen in the future, you can just play Toxie Doxie and not worry about what you have. But if you have any other non-card in here, you know that that's the one that's going to get frozen. And I get why it is, but this seems to be a problem with skill cards in general, as they still haven't figured out what cards give power that will hit skill cards and what cards won't give power to skill cards. Because on the one hand, yes, it's nice that your skill cards won't get that plus 2 power because they're useless then. But on the other hand, it's painful because of the fact that now you can just play more of your cards if you have Toxie Doxie in your hand. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.